Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Game Over Cancer. My name is Bill. I am, in fact, doing it, and I'll be taking over the hosting duties here for the rest of the night. Our next run is going to be a Mega Man 7 randomizer with LVCreed. Creed, go ahead and take it away.
Yes, welcome everybody, it's your boy LVCreed Pun. That's a little bit of a spin on Mega Man 7 that you saw just about a couple of games ago from Ahmad, which was a very excellent run, by the way. Shout out to Ahmad for that. But yeah, with this randomizer, it's going to take a while for me to explain all the things that this thing randomizes. So we're not going to get into that. I'm just going to let the game speak for itself, and we're just going to go ahead and get started. So when I get the countdown on to go, we're just going to get started. So countdown from 3, 2, 1, go. So the first thing we're actually going to do, we're just going to check the shop, and this is not good. So as you can see, I'm actually start off with a set amount of boats at the very start, and you see I got a couple of items at the very beginning. You start off with 2, but when I get the special boat, which is actually shuffled within who knows where in this game, I can actually get some more items. But as you can see, I actually have all the Royal Masters available at the start. You don't start with the intro stage. We're actually going to see that later. But I'm going to start with Burstman here. Burstman is actually the stage I usually go to first because this actually has areas with text. Ooh, this game's gonna be really mean right now. But yeah, as you can see, this game has randomized enemies, and the enemies actually do randomized damage. So I don't know how hard they're gonna hit me and how hard I'm able to hit them until I actually attack them. As you can see, the creator of the hack, Parasabe, for those that are familiar with ROM hacks, those especially for games like, oh my gosh, this thing is actually not protected. I can actually kill this thing potentially fast. Hell, die! I'm sorry, you do not know how happy I actually see numbers that aren't 2 and 1 on this crab mini boss. I'll explain what I meant by protected probably by the end of the run, because there is actually quite a bit of data that this game shows, this randomizer shows at the very end. But as I mentioned, I actually start with this stage first, because all of its checks are actually in the very open. So if you're familiar with kind of like how the stuff are actually available, and in Venture Mode in particular, all the items and all the weapons and so on and so forth, they actually are shuffled within each other. So, oh my gosh, this is gonna be a blitz seed. As you can see, normally this would actually be a rush plate, but actually now I'm seeing rush search, and rush search is one of the main friggin' items that I would love to see very, very early. And since it's rarely available in here in Burst, we already got a very good start. Of course, I still got to deal with the lack of iframes that Mega Man 7 already has. Of course, we're gonna try to take our time a little bit. This is more of a showcase than a speed run, even though I am still fish. Anyway, I'm still gonna try to go things as fast as possible. And as you can see, every checkpoint I do get refills on my health and actually my weapons whenever I get weapons. So as you can see, Wily bosses are shuffled within the randomizer, and the damage actually are randomized as well. So I gotta fight Springman, basically vanilla. So as terms of weaknesses, as you can expect from a randomizer of this kind of caliber, the weaknesses are randomized. And it gets even deeper than that, because you know how it was mentioned before that how some bosses have weakness animations? The weakness animations are actually randomized as well for a given weapon. As I finish off Spring, beat and a key item, not bad. So, talking about Adventure Mode right quick as I go to Springman, since literally all the Robot Masters are available at the start. For Adventure Mode, you actually don't necessarily have to beat every single boss or enemy in the game. get this because I would like to have this. E-Tanks have a very special place in this sucker. Hopefully I don't take too much damage and waste it too early, which might happen. Oh boy. Oh yeah, we're using it early. So yeah, get a little bit sidetracked thanks to all the nonsense. Actually, E-Tanks, well, every single tank in the game, which I use Rusher. Ooh, surprise danger wrap, nice. E-Tanks, weapon tanks, and special tanks, whenever they use, they also have a and junk shield, nice. They have the extra property when you actually use them. You actually get an extended set of iframes every time you pop one of those juice cans for Mega Man. So they are very useful in the pinch. R. We don't need the weapon. We don't need the rush letters. So Parasol put a lot of quality of life in terms of how some things are actually work. Even spikes. Spikes aren't instant kill. Spikes are never instant kill. And pits, you can survive from pits, but they will cost a lot of damage. I think about 20 units of damage. And you get saved by Pete, you know, the little bird from Mega Man 6. That's technically the bird that we would normally use if we don't have Beat, but we do have Beat. So that's not an issue. Oh, baby. Junk on junk violence. You love to see it. As you can expect, the weaknesses are randomized. Probably one of the interesting things about this randomizer, though, is that you... not too bad. No key items. But yeah, one of the interesting things about the weakness sets, well, no, not the weakness sets, but in terms of boss health, the boss health is actually doubled. So instead of the usual 28 that you probably see in most other average Mega Man games, the actual number of damage you actually get is 56. So each boss has 56 units of health in order to take down before you actually officially kill a boss. I'm going to Shade Man stage here because Shade Man stage also has a large number of checks, especially since I have the Rush Search equipped. No, we ain't gonna use that. So it looks like we're gonna have to do this the long way. But fortunately, my Buster is doing a good amount of damage actually on Van Pookin. And we got another Rush Search spot. And there's one of our dock keys. So, for adventure mode, as you can see, there are some number skulls. In order to have access to Dr. Wily's stage, you actually gotta grab 6 of those. 6 out of 8. And they are also shuffled within the item pool from anywhere. And Proto Man himself is actually a check. Nope. Nope, we're bustering him. So, in terms of boss weaknesses, there are weaknesses that are shuffled amongst themselves. Proto Man is actually shuffled within the group amongst the Wily bosses. So you're shuffled between 10 weapons. Of course, you got the 8 Robot Master weaknesses, but there are also bosses that are potentially weak to the Buster and weak to the Rocket Punch. If you get the Super Adapter, that counts as an individual weakness. And Proto Man is within that pool of extra bosses. Get one more, and Proto Man is down. Okay, so what do we get for the Proto Shield check? Triple tank. Not too bad. So let's get out of here. And we're actually going to go back and continue from the checkpoint. One of the many quality of life things that's added to this randomizer is that you can actually start from a checkpoint. Well, first and foremost, you can exit out of stages at any time, as you already have the exit module equipped. But secondly, you can actually, as long as you reach a checkpoint, any checkpoint in a game, in the stage, you can actually select and go to that checkpoint at any given time. So once again, a lot of quality of life in terms of trying to progress through this randomizer. Come here and do our weapon. Oh boy, this is gonna be a hard check. Oh, we got it before Rusty gets sniped, and we got our next dock key. I think that is 3 so far out of the 6 that we need out of the 8 total. So who's gonna be in Shade Man's spot? Oh, this POS. So yeah, as you expect. Oh no, we don't need that. That's not good. This is gonna be a long fight. So one of the things that you can't... Oh my gosh, is he protected? Oh, never mind. My Buster shot got intertwined with the large Buster. God. But as you can expect, Shape Man is still one of the most annoying bosses to have, especially without a weakness. And of course, one of the most dangerous things about this randomizer is that bosses do randomized damage. So this guy, if I'm unfortunate, can, if the game so chooses, can pretty much take about half my health. And I'm not joking. Just like that, that is pain. That's about a good quarter of my health. So Slash being legitimately the toughest boss out of the 8 Robos, you do not want to get him too early, and hopefully got some weapons that actually do damage. But we're doing fine on him. And if you can see, as I was trying to mention before, weakness animations are randomized. So as you saw, my half charge actually deal flame damage. Ooh, special bolt, nice. Okay, so that's 4 out of 5s. Okay, so what we got? We do have a key. We got a triple tape. We got another key. We actually, if I had enough, I actually would have access to Wily. But for right now, let's go here. Oh, wait. I'm gonna have to check back on nope, immune, nope, there, so Buster. Fortunately, Truck Joe here is pretty much a wuss. He's not dealing 1 damage to me. So fortunately, no big deal. As we get our scuba mats, just pretty much beached here in Turbo Man stage. So Turbo Man, you expect, will you leave me alone? Oh, there we go. There's some numbers that you like to see. Whenever you see a 99 on an enemy kill, that means the enemy is basically extremely accessible to it. So once again, we got a couple of checks that we can make for am I high enough? There we go. Fix this spot. 100 bolts, that's good for E-tank fodder. Check here. It stands to note that the secret areas for Proto Man and such, they're usually locked out. So you would never have to visit Proto Man. As you saw, I was able to do his fight as soon as possible when I was visiting Shade Man stage. So the areas that you'll find them here in Turbo and Cloud, they are 100% inaccessible. This is gonna be annoying, isn't it? Well, oh, hit him! Hit him! There we go! 1 shot! Yes, even mini bosses are susceptible to the critical kill, where they can get 1 shot by a given weapon. So that was a very good find. Sissy Truck can be a very big damage sponge if the randomizer so chooses. Oh, and we found a weakness. Burst on burst violence. Once again, you love to see it. So, we done. Lots of money. So actually, we can do this. Go ahead and get that out of the way. Actually, I will go ahead and get this. So actually, I have all I need to actually access the stages now. 14 minutes in. You know, let's be bold. We got three weapons. Let's see how far I can go before the game locks me out. Actually, I'm stupid. I'm already locked out because I got a little too excited with my 6. I do need a rush mobility item to get through the first 2 main Wily stages. That was just a taste. Premature last stage elation. But yeah. There is a... oh my gosh. Are y'all immune to just about everything? The Stegosauruses, we do not like them right now. They seem to be immune to quite a number of things right now. Oh, big jump. I hate you. Unfortunately, I can't get the rush litter check here because I don't have a rush mobility item. But hopefully along the way here, I will actually find one of them. And from there, we actually have more of a reason to try at least attempt the Wily stages. Ooh, Slash Claw, we getting this beat. Thank you. Slash Claw, one of my favorite weapons. Basically hits things per frame. So one of my favorite weapons to use, especially if you get a good amount of ammo for them. Let's get you out of my way so I can have free range for this dig. Right now, I'm not finding a rush mobility item. You can always tell that Cloudman is gonna be your robot master because you're always moving forward. That is not what I want. I think I'm gonna be bustering him. Yeah, I'm gonna be bustering him. But all in all, this still shouldn't be too bad of a fight. I could probably use Junk for some damage, but I think Buster is just good enough. Each phase of the Buster charge is its own unit of damage, so in some cases you can go full Mega Man 8 style and do half charges for the rest of the game. Where do I go? I think I'm going to Cloud. I would love to go to Junk. Junk has the most amount of checks at 6, but it's also locked between a lot of weapons that I actually don't have. Because I need Freeze Cracker and Thunderbolt in order to get to not only access specific areas, but also use them to get items, period. So instead of going to Junk, which would be preferable, I'm actually going to go to Cloud Stage right now and get all the tech cleared there. Do I have Scorch Wheel? No, I don't. I wanted to done Slash anyway. Slash is probably the only stage I would probably not go if I had an option to. All its checks are at the very end of the stage, and I would have to fight a mid-boss along the way, so if all possible, I want to avoid going to Slash. Let's see. Have B do his job here. And let's see what we get for our little check here. I'm getting my weapons, but I'm not getting rush utilities. I would like to progress through the game. Nope, we gotta beat Cloud. Well, the boss in Cloud. So as you can see, there's quite a number of interesting things that this randomizer can provide as we continue on, and hopefully by the time I beat the boss of this stage, I finally have a means to at least get started on the in-game stages. As we find Freezeman in a Cloudman stage, the pillars on the side pretty much puts them on the border, and as... Oh, never mind, we found something that helps. Okay, we get the point. You like the pose. Oh, big damage on Noise Crush. Still nothing. Alright, going to junk. We get a check right here. It's an H, we don't have it. This game does not want me to progress in the wild stages right now. So as you know, Junkman stage has a split path. I can access one of the split paths with the freeze cracker that I got from Cloud. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone! Okay. Okay, Wild Coil. I'm cool with that. But how about Rush Coil? At the very least, I found all my Dad Blasted Skulls and not one rush item. But not one rush mobility item. We're gonna clear this stage and hopefully be done with this stage. I do not want to be forced to go into Slash if I don't have to. Unfortunately, I don't have Thunderbolts, so I can't do the rush jet check. So unfortunately, we're just gonna have to make do, beat the boss in junk, and hopefully that will have what I need. I'm hoping it's not forcing me to use the super adapter. That'll kind of suck, because I am kind of going out of my way hoping not to need them. So, I think this would be a good point since nothing's really happening. If there are any donations or any announcements that need to be made, feel free to do so at the current moment. Either it's muted on my end or there are actually nothing being read right now. We'll take it as is. Oh, dang good. But yeah, third man's not going to be too much of a hassle. We gotta take the fight one step at a time. Shot. Hey, we got Rush Coil. We have to progress through the game now. Like I said, all I really need is just one rush mobility item and I can progress through the game, because there are areas in Dr. Wally's stage where you're forced to use a rush item in order to progress. And as you can see, we're actually going to do the intro stage now. Nope. Oh, there we go. Noise Crush weakness. Dang, I should have double hit him. So, actually, the end game actually have both our intro and intermediate stages as a part of the end game pool. And like the 8 Robot Masters, they also have their weaknesses shuffled amongst each other. So, like you saw, the first base fight showed that it was weak to Noise Crush. Now that I know that, that weakness is now unavailable as a weakness now. I'm not sold that Slash Claw is a weakness here, but I'm going to use it anyway. So, for right now, for all I know, this could be a weakness for... No, let's be safe. Use those iframes. Alright, now to the Wally stages proper. Of course, with the randomized enemies. There could be some danger depending on how things go. But for right now, things seem to be going well on my way. But of course, I do have my E-tanks if I do so need them. Even my weapon tanks, the weapon tanks can have the same effect of added invincibility. And there's my required rush use. Bring an enemy. But yeah, no rush jet. So I can't really skip these moving platforms. Not that they're hard. So we just gotta make our way to base. Which was mentioned earlier in the previous run. Easily one of the best tunes in Mega Man 7. If I can take care of these Dabbla's roaches. Alright, let's see. Are you the Buster? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sold. Nope, you're weak to junk. As far as I know, you're weak to junk. So junk is going to be out of the weakness pool. I gotta be very mindful. Like I said, I do not have Scorch Wheel, and Scorch Wheel is a weakness for one of these bosses. So I'm not gonna have 2 weaknesses throughout the Wily stages. Nope. Nope, no slap fight. You're not it. Okay, it's Danger Rap. That puts Danger Rap out of the weakness pool. Alright, not too much damage. I had one seed where whenever Gutsman grabbed me, it did 22 units of damage. The randomized damage that enemies can do, it can get serious. If the sea so allows. Fortunately, that's not the case this given seed. This is not what I want to see. Let's do you. So I don't waste the E-tank unnecessarily. Because it had the same effect. And we'll begin to our Super Base fight, Base 3 shortly. As you can tell, there's really no change in the boss fights. So the boss fights are usually just the same. And he is weak to the Buster. Unless under certain conditions, given a particular rando seed, usually anything that's about 6 or more damage is usually what's considered a weakness. So in this case, with Charge Buster doing 6 damage, I know for a fact that this is the main weakness for base. Gotta go through the motions. Alright, base it down. Let's keep going. No, I want to find out if you die. There we go. There's our weakness. I hate things sometimes. But yeah, so far so good. Rush call out so we can get this thing out of here. Use rush call again. A few more things to go, and we should be going to the Randomizer. And there's the example of this thing not being instant kill. If you haven't seen it already. Oh, brother. Right, what are you weak to, Randomizer? Not you. Are we slap fighting? Probably one of the hardest things to do is try to keep up with weaknesses. And what weaknesses you have used already. Many times I get lost in the weakness shuffle and I forget what I've used and what's weak to what. Okay, both charge phases deal the same amount of damage, so there's no reason to amplify the noise crush. Oh! You're waving. Some weapons do have special attributes. What you just saw on the Noise Crush is the waving attribute. What the waving attribute is the ability for weapons to pass through any kind of object that would be invulnerable otherwise. That is dicks. Pardon the tongue. Thank goodness spikes are not instant killing in this rando. How about not? Once again, using the edit attribute that anytime you use any kind of canned goodie, you get iframes. Well, extended iframes, rather. And just like in vanilla, we do want to take the top route. Of course, we don't have Rush Jet available to make this absolutely fast, but we got ways to get around it. Like this. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get those goodies there, as a whole bunch of scuba mechs just... That particular set of screens get clustered a lot with enemies. Okay, that's Freeze Cracker weakness, assumingly. And there should be no problem at all, and... There we go. I think I have quite a number of waving units here. Let's stock up. A couple of extra here. Let's run button. And a little bit of a did you know? Did you know there's a dig spot here? Why is Proto Shield here? That's the extra shuffle I have to deal with. That's a weakness, but Well, that's a weakness animation, but you're not weak to this. Hit me. Are you weak to wild core? I guess we're gonna have to do a two-pronged. That means Slash Man is either weak to Thunderbolt or Scorch Wheel. So it's just gonna just have to min-max the damage by doing a Slash Claw Reach Cracker combination. As this guy just continues not to be cooperative. Also, vanilla weakness effect. I'm getting greedy. Then I was hoping that'd kill, so I didn't have to use another E-Tank. That was careless. But regardless, one more good smack, down goes Slash. Alright, we know the weakness here. We know this is junk. Junk on junk violence. So we just do the thing. And down it goes. We found the weakness here. What was it? Oh, it was burst on burst violence. Next up, Humanoid Crush. There we go. A little weird tidbit about this particular fight. Freezeman, if he's in Junkman's arena, he is 100% unable to freeze the floor. So whenever he does his ice effect on the ground, it will never happen. Somehow, Junkman's room just refuses to let this area activate properly. Ooh, vanilla weakness, slap fight. I love slap fights. Let's see, Shade. I don't think we found a weakness for you yet. Definitely you. Shouldn't be this. We found you already. I'm just really going through the... Sucked. Vanilla weakness? Vanilla weakness. Let's see. Nope. Same damage regardless. Alright, last two Royal Masters, no one of which is Cloud, the other one is gonna be Turbo. Oh, basically a free weakness. Oh, more damage from the shards. Yeah, that is one thing I never did talk about. Any weapon that has kind of like two phases to its attacks. I'm pretty sure I found a weakness for this. Dang, I don't even remember. You know, whatever. We're busting this thing. But yeah, as I was saying, anything that has two methods of attack, like a charge or a spread shot or something of the like, they actually have different damage values. use. And they can be weaker or stronger as the sea provides. Alright, 8 rebels done. Alright. So now we got the Wilding Machine. What weaknesses have I not tried yet? I don't think I tried Wild Coil yet. I don't think I found a weakness for Coil. Regardless, I don't have a weakness with... Nope, that ain't it. It shouldn't be you. It's not junk. It's not slash. No Express can do a decent amount of damage. You know, thing. Oh, have I used Team directly? Oh, yes, I did. I used it on Gutsman. So this should not be weakness. So I'm assuming this weakness is either Thunderbolt, Scorch Wheel, or Rocket Punch. But fight damage is still very good for this particular boss. All that's left is the Wily Capsule after this timely refill. And time will be on the last hit. But first I gotta find a weakness. And I think it's Wild Coil. Nope, it ain't Wild Coil. I might not have a weakness for this. But we're gonna see if we can find something that can deal some kind of damage. Damage that is beyond 1. Damage that I can actually use when the machine is in a position where I can hit it. Wily! This isn't Mega Man 5 nor Mega Man 9. Let me hit you. Oh! Slap fight! We found the weakness. All hell slappers! If you're a slapper, slap someone in the chat. And time should be on the final hit. Time.
Wow, what a run, Creed. Great job.
Yeah, not too shabby. Around the same time that Ahmad had on his run, so kind of like bookends within this Mega Man 6 sandwich with 2 loaves of Mega Man 7 bread.
I do just want to mention, here while we were wrapping up the run, we did get a $10 donation from Iraq Vet 0304 saying, I've got to donate during the Mega Man block. Good luck to all of the runners and happy 420. Go fast. Thank you so much, Iraq Vet.
Appreciate Iraq Vet once again. This is literally one of my favorite events that I like to participate and even watch on the side, even if I don't have any runs. So anytime I can participate in this event, I'm extremely honored. So thanks to all the organizers, all the runners that are participating, just everything that goes on behind the scenes, and it's just been a blast. But before we come out, if this was 34 an hour for the worst case scenario, but since I have time, I'm gonna show you a little bit of a tour of the ending here, because as you can see, I have all this information here on the screen. This pretty much shows all the things that I got and all the stuff that I didn't get. This has a very, very comprehensive end screen, spoiler screen at the very end here. So stuff like you get boss data here. I can actually look and see if I got all the weaknesses correct. So yeah, I got Freeze Man correct. Found Junkman. Burst Man was burst on burst violence. Cloudman was Freeze Cracker, found that. Springman, found that a bit late. Slashman was strong. I'm not surprised. So this is one of the things I was talking about. There are some modifier extra effects in the Mega Man 7 Randomizer that can be attributed to enemies and bosses. In terms of, in this case, Slashman has the strong attribute. For enemies and bosses that have the strong attribute, they deal about double or more damage in certain aspects. Contact damage for Slashman was 9, while the Slash Car attack was 4. And it's on a per seed basis, so the damage they can deal per strong enemy can go from leaps and bounds. It's like I said, at one point I had a Gutsman G fight whose attack was so powerful. When it grabbed me and dunked me to the ceiling, it did all but about 6 of my health remaining. That's the volatility of the damage that some of these enemies can do at a given moment of seed. Let's see, Coil was Proto Man weakness. Base 1, I found that. Mash was Scorch Wheel, I didn't have that. Base 2, okay, Junk. Bubble? Danger Rap was indeed the weakness for Gutsman, but it wanted to flick. It wanted to push back with the bubbles as opposed to actually do direct damage. Let's see, Base 3 was Buster as intended. Gamma Riser was Thunderbolts. That's interesting, because as you can see, the red is the intended weakness. The blue, I assume blue is secondary weakness, but sometimes the secondary weakness can be worse. And in some cases, the secondary can be better than the intended weakness. So sometimes it can be a little deceiving how this damage table goes. Ooh, wow. Strong protected Wily Capsule. If you hated the Wily Capsule, this would have been one of the biggest nightmares. I got a little bit extra time left. You can see all the locations and the items that are attached to them. I want to see, okay, so the H plate. So when I passed Freeze Man, I actually passed by the Scorch Wheel that was on the letter plate on that ladder spot. So unfortunately I wasn't able to get that. Where was Thunderbolt? Thunderbolt was on Slashman Station B. Yeah, we were never getting that. Yeah, when I do the runs, stages like Cloud and Slash are usually last because their checks are towards the very end. And I would like to... And if I have stages that I don't have to go through, I don't do them. And you get weapon data. Weapons on the damage they deal normally in the number amounts. Each of them have their own attributes. Some of them I don't know, like critical. I don't necessarily know what critical is, or powerful. Powerful, I would just assume it's like a stronger version, a quote unquote stronger version of a particular weapon for its given base value. But stuff like waving, as I mentioned before, when I figured out the Gamma Riser was weak to Noise Crush, that if you have like enemies that are immune or would normally like tink off, they will actually pass through. So those are very good for enemies that are shielded. Not necessarily things that are invulnerable, but just things that would only shield and deal damage that way. So stuff like Freeze Cracker, Noise Crush, those are stuff that you can like to use. And Vacuum. When I go to the enemy screen in a few moments, and I'll actually pass it back over to the host once I'm done with that, so we can move on with the marathon. I'll explain what Vacuum does if I can find an enemy with a specific attribute. Speaking of which, you get a full index of what enemies, what they're weak to, what they're immune to, what weapons pass through them. Very comprehensive. And I mean every enemy. See, this is what I'm talking about. You see the attribute called spooky? Spooky enemies are enemies where every single weapon passes through them. So nothing kills them at all unless you have a vacuum. As you see here, when you look here, Wild Coil has the vacuum attributes. So if I go back here to our spooky enemy here, which are the GoBots, you see that in this damage table, you see that the Wild Coil has actual damage attributes. And trust me, I've seen seeds where there are no vacuum effects, so enemies are permanently transparent, you can't kill them. So depending on if they decide to attack you or not, they can do immense damage or absolutely no damage to you at all for a given seed. Spooky Stegosaurus, that would explain why I killed it the last time with the Wild Coil in Wally 2. Protected, pretty much very, very durable. Tough enemies are enemies that have several times more health than they normally do. So as you can see, like these mid-bosses, the Kaniganans, which is the crab mini-boss in Burst, and the King Gojulus, which is the T-Rex boss and mini-boss in Slash, they have a lot of HP. Tough is just extra endurance for a given boss. Truncho too? Good lord. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty thorough explanation of what Adventure Mode does, Mega Man 7 Randomizer. That's a pretty fun time if you're able to find it on the interwebs. Be sure to check out Parasabe's site and download it, have fun with it, and hopefully it's a good time. So yeah, and I've been keeping tabs on my time. I'm at over 51 minutes. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's time to go so we can get to some more Mega Man action. Mega Man 11 coming up very shortly with Coco RTA, one of the good ones in the game. So sit back, hang tight, get back to your host so I don't have to steal his job.
Man, Creed killed the commentary and took over the hosting job. You're making my life easy, brother. Thank you so much for the run. Thank you for the in-depth look here at the end game of the randomizer. Everybody sit tight. We'll be back here in just a minute for Mega Man 11.